In central northern Florida is another property of Regional Rail LLC, a 104-mile Florida Northern Railroad based in Ocala, Florida. This operates two different lines, one interchanging with CSX in Ocala, running roughly north-south with the interchange in the middle. The other, which is much longer, interchanges with CSX in Newberry, which is located west of Gainesville, Florida. This has 6 transloads, besides other industries, and works with 3 agencies to develop business along the routes. The Ocala area trackage was once part of the plant system that became part of the ACL. The CSX interchange is on the CSX S line, which is former SAL. In 1988, the Florida Northern was formed by Pensley Railroad Company, which had leased the Ocala subdivision from CSX. The Florida Northern also started operating the CSX West Coast subdivision in 1988, which had largely been abandoned by CSX. Today, the Newberry subdivision is seldom used for anything except coal trains to the Crystal River Energy Complex. The Ocala division interchanges with the CSX S-Line in Ocala. In the city, they also serve 5 industries. The base of operations for this division is a Y just west of North Magnolia Avenue, which has a warehouse in the middle. This is labeled as the CSX Transportation Bulk Storage Warehouse on Google Maps, but it is really the FNOR Ocala Yard Terminal, which handles the transloading of tank cars. Ocala Yard is actually a little west of the Y and transload along Northwest 14th Street. The south point of the Y crosses Route 500 and runs down to the CSX S-Line where the interchange is. There's a small yard here and 2 spurs that could be the Williston Yard transload, which Regional Rail lists on their website for the Florida Northern, but they seem to be a location switched by CSX. The FNOR continues west from the interchange, crossing a few grade crossings, and then passing Trademark Metals Recycling, which is a customer but unknown if active. They are right on the through track here without a spur, so many cars would have to be shoved a ways west or pulled an even longer distance out to get to industries beyond. Beyond this is the Ocala Breeders Feed and Supply, which receives covered hoppers and appears to be feed. There are other spurs that no longer used, including one at Farrell Gas and another at what appears to be an old 84 lumber. The northwest point of the Y is the line to Lowell. This passes Anderson, Columbia, which unloads open coppers of construction materials and a seemingly disused spur to another Trademark Metals operation. The main to Lowell is used for car storage with the Elhoist mine in an abandoned industrial building in Lowell. It could see traffic again, but doesn't at this time. From the Y in Ocala, the line to Candler heads due south, crossing the CSX S-Line at the Ocala Red Diamond Railroad crossing next to Ocala Union Station. It then runs along the edge of northeast of Osceola Avenue, next to Seminole Feed, which is served by CSX. The FNOR then at northeast 3rd Street enters the section of street running through northeast Osceola Ave, 8 city blocks to southeast 3rd Street, and then veers off into grass before curving southeast, passing southeastern Stone and Tile, which is an overgrown spur that this pitch has been removed. The line continues east and southeast through Maricamp and Montague before reaching Tibbetts Lumber outside of Silver Springs Shores. This is served in a siding that connects to the main and industrially, which runs down to the Marion Military Academy and Associated Growers of Florida, neither of which are online. There are 2 more industries in Silver Springs Shores, Southern Aggregates and the Silver Springs Shores Lumber Transload, neither of which could I find on Google Maps. The line ends shortly after Safety Clean Systems, which handles liquid waste disposal with tank cars. This division has the GP18, GP9, and GP11 all assigned to it. The Newberry division is much longer but would see less traffic. It used to run from Newberry north to High Springs and from Newberry south to Crystal River, but the section to High Springs was mothballed in 2014. The line joins the CSX rails on a Y, and coal trains would take the south leg to reach the power plant several miles south. The Newberry transload appears to be on the west leg of the Y, but not actively served. There are no other industries in Newberry, and the line traverses fields and woods heading south, passing a flooded quarry south of Archer. Along here is a long siding used for car storage, and the main then passes through the outskirts of Williston, where there is Williston Yard transload, which does not appear to be in use. I mentioned the other one because I was following the tracks and I wasn't sure where Williston was. I couldn't find it on the map. The main then passes the Kirby family farm, which has a loop of track for rides and a long display track with a locomotive, flat car, and 16 to 17 passenger cars. The tracks then pass through Morriston and curve off the right-of-way where they have been following to another right-of-way they had been following to another. Continuing south, the tracks then split to go around two spurs, which appear are for loading aggregates in Dunellan. The line crosses the Withlacoochee River in Dunellan, winds its way through woods and residential areas, heading more or less west. After crossing US 19 in Red Level, there is a spur which is no longer used. Then the tracks parallel West Power Line Street all the way to the Crystal River Coal and Nuclear Power Plant. There the street continues straight into the plant, but the tracks split. Loaded coal trains head to the left, paralleling a dirt road and looping around to pass through the unloader near where the plant also receives coal by barge. The track then loops back on itself and joins a disused spur as well. The north spur heads up to another part of the plant, which appears to receive tank cars at two spotting locations and a runaround track, and there is a spur near a coal pile. This line is supposed to have a KFRX SW8 and an FNOR GP10 assigned to it, but I found no locomotives other than two CSX run-through units on this line. I thought that hang on, I gotta check something. Yes, I was correct. It's not an FNOR GP10. I'm not quite sure why I put that there, but it is actually an FCEN GP10 because the FNOR has no motor power of its own, like I said in the other one. All four of their locomotives, except for the KFRX SW8, which is not a corporate locomotive. All of them are Florida Central locomotives, which is FCEN. There's a typographical error there. Assigned to it, I found no locomotives other than two CSX run-through units on this line, so I'm not sure where those two locomotives are, if they are even on the line, or if they were on the line when they were out. If they were on the line when I looked over on Google Maps, I didn't see them. The power plant is roughly 1 mile from the Gulf of Mexico, southeast of Cedar Key. This concludes the episode in the Florida Northern Railroad, the final property of Regional Rail. While it is the largest in mileage, I think it's the largest in mileage, yeah. The Florida Central and Florida Midland, I believe, both beat it in traffic volume. From looking at it, I don't really see that much that it would have. It looks like it'd probably be an as-needed thing and not that much traffic, maybe once a week, maybe. I didn't find anything to clue me into how often they operate. Next will be on a railroad I will be very near when I am in Florida. That finishes that. A nice backdrop here. I would just fill up the thing, covering the computer screen. I think that's it for today. I think I'm not going to film more episodes. I have three uploaded, three recorded. I'll record the next one some other day.